speaking with you, man, especially because the last couple of weeks must have been a whirlwind for you. Look, let's get right into this. Uh, and you can tell the audience first time I get a chance to meet you, and the night, a very special night that happened at the Canadian Music Week 2024. What was going on to kick off this great festival, man, that involved you?
Yeah, man. Well, first off, thank you for having me here, getting to chat with you. This is great. But yes, that week was absolutely insane. It feels like it wasn't real, to be honest, and it flew by. But it was an amazing time. I had the chance of performing at the Drake Underground for the Jim Beam National Talent Search, and one thing led to another. Me and my boys, we played and we played our hearts out, and one thing led to another, and we won, and then that started an amazing week for us, and we were extremely grateful. We got to do some amazing things, and then obviously ending the week performing at the Danforth Music Hall, opening up for Finger 11 at the Indies Awards, and it was unbelievable. Yeah.
Man, you have such confidence that an
Thank
aura
you.
of confidence that you bring around yourself. And let's just tell everybody, because I was one of the judges, everybody else was great, everybody else was deserving, but you put the edge to it. And it was that confidence that you did so professional from beginning to end. The show, the performance that you did was so polished. Where does that confidence come from?
Thank you. Thank you so much for that, honestly. And yes, the other acts were incredible and so talented. But I think the confidence comes from I've lucky enough, I've been doing this since I was really, really little, and I've been training my whole life. I started in musical theater actually, so I grew up on a stage and
Yeah.
performing, and I learned a lot through those years, and also have dance training background, so I've kind of dabbled in many different things, and that's helped my stage performance and the confidence just in general. But putting that aside, one thing that I always do, me and my band, we always do is we rehearse our asses off. We don't settle for less. We get together like a lot, and we nail down every little detail of the show, the in betweens, the transitions. Everything has to be perfect for us, and that's something that we've always been like that. I've always been like that, and it's helped us, a lot tremendously. And so I think that's just where the confidence comes, just from so many years of just doing this. I love what I do, but just so much, all the training and the hours and practice, practice, practice.
I'm curious though, because when I had to read the winner, I purposely stepped off the stage because I did not want anybody to look over my shoulder on my phone to see who we had as
Yeah.
the winner. I'm curious, what was your thoughts when everybody got up on stage and you were waiting to hear the name? Because I purposely, if you remember, I waited like maybe 10 seconds before
I
I
know you
actually
did.
said
I
your
know
name.
we were all like, "Oh man, he's waiting a long time here." No, we were just so stoked. I mean, me and my guys, we got up there, we did our thing, and for us, that's all we can do is go get up there, do the best we possibly can, enjoy it.
Mhm.
We were just grateful that we were able to play. Just any chance I can get to play, we're always down for it. But when we got up there, we were obviously crossing our fingers and hoping that it would go in our direction. But we were kind of just like, you know what, we have to put it in the judge's hands and Rudy's hands, and let it do its thing. And luckily we got the win. We got the win. So.
And you deserved it too, man. It's funny watching your performance. I was wondering, are you in the right era? Because you have this Elvis rockabilly kind of 60s, 70s, a touch of the 80s, slide in some night. Like you have this, I don't know what you want to call it, man. Where does that part
Well,
come
first of all,
from?
that means a lot, man. Thank you. Elvis has been such a huge inspiration for me in my music, along with some other legends: Johnny Cash, Bob Dylan, Chuck Berry,
Yeah.
George Strait, Alan Jackson. There's so many old school legends that I am so inspired by, and especially having a dance background, moving on stage is a big thing for me, just like Elvis used to do back in the day. But it's so funny you say you're kind of in the wrong era, because it's like I love the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. That whole all those generations of music were pivotal for music, and what they did and how they shaped music was just insane. And so I really want to try to bring some of that back, and bring that back to the stage these days, because I think it's where it all started, and it impacted so many artists. And so I'm just inspired by those legendary artists, and I'm trying to bring some of that into the new.
Well, here's the other thing too. Look, when I was um, way younger, there were certain things I could get away with that today I could not get away with. Um, the mesh shirt. Back in my younger days, I could get away with it. I can't get away with it now. I look, man. I give you props for
Yes, you
getting away with that now, man.
That's hilarious. Oh, the mesh shirt. I think you can pull it off, man.
You
Come on now.
not these days. Give me a couple more months. I'm going back to the gym. But
There we
I
go.
love the fact that again, it's the being brave enough to do something like that, man. People might think, oh, he's just wearing a shirt. No, that's a statement.
For sure. Yeah. No, I appreciate that. Yeah, and not even just me, but even my band, we're all on that wave of like kind of just not giving, a
Yeah.
shit, and just being you, and being confident with it. And that's the only way to do it. If you're not confident and you're not going head first into the deep end, then people are gonna call BS. They're gonna say, "Oh, like, I'm not really feeling it." But if you just go there with it, then people can't say anything. They just have to be like, "Okay, here we are. Here we go."
How do you handle the fans, and in particularly the female fans? Because I swear I was ready to see panties being thrown on the stage. Like, how do you handle that, man? Like,
Oh,
you're
geez.
a good looking dude, but once you get up on stage, it's a whole, as they say, a whole nother level.
Another level, yeah, that's right. Well, first, thank you. I mean, we're still working. We're building our fans and everything, but we're just grateful that when we get up on stage, we're able to kind of just everyone just gets locked in, and
No, 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 no. I'm going to stop you there. No, I saw women literally from the back running up to the front, and I know they weren't your friends or whatever. I think there were people who were here for other bands and went, "Holy crap!" and they started running up. So let me just interrupt there and get into that.
That's so funny, man. Well, thank you, and I'm being honest with this. Is like when I am up on stage, I kind of forget about everything, and I'm just I don't I can see everybody, I can see everything, but I'm also just like I'm in this like whole other universe, and so I just let myself go and do what I gotta do. But I mean we're lucky, and we all love it, and I'm grateful for all of everybody there, and all the fans, and we're building up, though. We're building up the fans here. We're building it up.
Smart answer, especially since you got a girlfriend. Next, let's talk about let's get into the serious part. Let's talk about the music. What kind of songs do you like to write? Because, like I said, you have such an era behind the songs.
Absolutely, yeah. Great question. The music I like to write is just music that is real. Is real to me. Is authentic. It's coming from a real place. I do write, a couple different ways. Sometimes I write from personal experience. Sometimes I write from things that I've seen happen to other people in their lives, and I try to take inspiration from that. But a lot of it is from, real experience, and I try to make something that can be relatable to other people. But again, for me, it's all about, I'm writing, to make a song that's going to be impactful, but also how is it going to translate live? Because I
Yeah.
love live performing. And how is that going to come across on stage? How is that going to hit people? How is it going to make them feel? And that's why it's important to make the big country rock tracks that are going to get people dancing, but then also the tracks that are going to make people feel, get emotional. And I'm working on another song right now. It's going to be actually kind of like a really deep country ballad. We have strings and fiddles on it, and so I'm doing, I'm doing it all. I'm not just sticking kind of with just one particular thing, mainly because I'm a musician at heart. I love to write, and I'm gonna do whatever feels right. I'm not just gonna stick with kind of just one thing. I want to just create as much as I can and see what happens.
So let's talk about that week. So you win. Okay. What happens right after that? Let's go into the stages because there are a lot of things that you got because of this, and you kind of mentioned it earlier. but you know, like recording sessions and stuff. Let's talk about that. What happened?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we won, and it was a whirlwind, and we were kind of all like, oh shit, okay, this is crazy. And then we found out the next morning we were going to be working with Tom Jackson,
Yeah.
legend. And so we were all like, okay, we gotta figure out scheduling. My drummer had work the next day, and he was like, I don't think I can get off. And like my the one guitarist was like, oh geez, like I got work. And so we were all trying to be like, okay, call the jobs, do what we gotta do, cancel everything. We gotta make it happen. And so luckily we did. We made it all work. Bright and early next morning, we got to work with Tom Jackson, and it was incredible. It was the most. It was we didn't really know what to expect, but we knew that Tom is a legend, and we were ready for anything. That was so much fun to do what we did with him, and we worked in one of my original songs called Northman, and he just broke it down, and he ripped it apart, and he tweaked things, and he moved things, and we. It was so much fun to do that. I hadn't done something like that in a long time, and so that was an amazing experience. We met a lot of amazing people there too, um, and then and then what else happened? There were a lot of other um, events that my band and I had gone to, and I was also in and out of on set because I'm also an actor as well. So I was also filming a series that week as well. So it was a wild week for me. And then we had to get prepped for the Danforth Music Hall show that we were lucky enough to be able to open up and perform one song. And we did the song that we worked with Tom Jackson on, which was Northman. And we actually implemented all the changes that he did for us that day. We did that. We did that on stage, and we did the whole new intro that he did with us, this big guitar solo battle, and we rocked the house down. At least I think so.
Yeah, no, I wasn't there, but I saw the videos because
Right.
we follow each other, so I can tell you did. Just
Thank-
curious, Figure 11.
Yes.
Did you have a chance to talk to the guys? Because they're great guys.
Yes, briefly. It was very quick, and it was a very hectic night, and we were
Yeah.
all trying. We wanted to chat with them a lot more, but we also knew like we didn't want to bug them, and everything was kind of going very quickly. It was very it was tight backstage, and there was a lot of people. We got a brief moment to chat with all of them real quick, and they a few of them saw our set, said it was awesome, and it was just it was really great that even the time that we did have with them, but then we got to see them play, and they just were rocked. They rocked it, and so it was a great experience in Hull.
So what's the next move now? Now you've got this title. Like you said, you're doing a series right now too. But musically, what is the future looking for you right now?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I had actually made the move to Nashville about 5 months ago. But I'm
Mhm.
back here. I'm back in Toronto right now because I'm for finishing up some work, some acting stuff. But then I'm gonna be in Nashville full time by the end of the year, which I'm really looking forward to. It's Music City, and especially when it comes to writers, musicians, producers, that's where it's at. And so I'm really looking forward to building my own network and connections down there, get writing more, producing, and then playing live in the States. That's the goal. But we have plans for a lot more singles, a ton more singles to be coming out, definitely before the end of the year, and then an album for the start of 2025. That's the goal. But we're really looking forward to the session that we have with Hill, which is coming up July 6th and 7th at Noble Street Studios. So that was set up through one of the things that we won for the Jim Beam Indies Awards was this session with Hill Corcutis that we get to do at Noble Street Studios, which we are so stoked for. I'm bringing in a song that I wrote, and we're just gonna make the biggest, hardest country rock track ever. Live drums, big guitars. We're gonna go all out with it. So I'm really looking forward to that one, and then hopefully get that song out sooner than later.
I love the fact that you are going out to Nashville full time because last year's winners, FKB, they're out there in Nashville right now too. So it seems like this might be a tradition. You
Yeah, that's
win
right.
this and then you
Yeah,
head to Nashville.
that's
So,
right.
what advice can you give for the folks who are going to compete next year and hopefully follow along in both of your footsteps?
Absolutely. I think the best advice that I could give to the folks performing next year would be come prepared and practice, work your ass off at every little detail, every little moment, work the songs obviously, but I think what really separates the artists and musicians is what is it looking like in between the songs? How are you talking to the audience? How are you connecting with people? Is there a dull moment at any part of the set? You know, if there is, you need to fix that. So I think that would be my biggest advice would be to practice, 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 get that set looking and feeling good,
Yeah.
and just go out there and be confident.
Absolutely. Confidence will get you to win, and that's what you guys did.
That's it.
Congratulations on this, man. So
Thank
happy for you. Much, much deserved. Let's keep in touch because I'm going to enjoy hearing all the new music and all the success you're going to have in the future. Congratulations.
Thank you, Rudy. I really, really appreciate it. And thank you for your time, man. This was fantastic. And we absolutely will stay in touch.